Hey guys, got a new video. Finally did get the 5 apothecary cards. So in this video we'll actually go convert it, and I'll kind of talk about how I made it this time, where the money came from and all that kind of stuff. So actually, first of all, this league, the apothecary was a lot more expensive than it used to be. So usually around day 4 or 5, day 5 is when I bought my first card. And it was 48 divines for the card. So usually around that time, day 4, day 5, day 6, they're usually 28 to about 30 something, 30-ish, 35 divines. So they were a lot more expensive than usual, so it did kind of slow down me buying the 5 cards. It did take about 9 days in total. Today is Sunday, so it's about the 8th or 9th day, I think. But anyways, let's turn it in and let's see what we get. Make sure we just don't actually sell card, and hopefully we do get a 4 flask off the bat so we don't have to waste any divines, and it's a 2 flask. Alright, so we're gonna have to divine this. Only have 9 divines, so hopefully we get a 4 mod. Oh my god. Okay, there we go. And the dex is really bad. Oh well, this will have to do for now. Does have a max cold res, mineral fire res. Okay, well, so that was about 5 divines there. Alright, so let's just put this on, and we got all of the flasks. And do want to mention that when you do buy your Mageblood, definitely don't skimp out on the flasks. Make sure they're all max rolled, the suffix and including the enchant. You want 70% increased effect, not 69 or whatever else people do. It's kind of sad, you know, you're buying a belt that costs close to a mirror and you're gonna skimp out a couple of chaos on the roll for your flasks. It's kind of doesn't really make sense. But anyways, so this belt did serve me well. Probably be selling these off sometime in the future. Alright, so where did the money come from? As you can see in my stash here, this is all mainly from the Simulacrum on this bubblegum currency. I have 4 divines left over, and let's quickly go into some of the profits. So this is what I was doing, kind of. I would say Simulacrum profits in the currency and scarabs and all that kind of stuff, not counting the lucky drops from Simulacrum, so not counting cluster jewels, what do you call those, split personalities or voices. I didn't drop any 3 or 1 passive voices. Not yet, at least. Max was a 5 passive, but even on when I dropped my first one on day 3, that sold for about 4 divines on day 3, so that was pretty cool. I think now they're only about 1, so I did drop quite a few 5 passive. So Simulacrum, scarabs. What is the profit in the Simulacrum from without the lucky drops? It's going to be scarabs mainly, and then essences and fossils. I haven't sold. I just sold my fossils, actually. So the first, I only made 1 round of fossils. In total, it was like, what, 6 divines. So you don't really make that much from fossils, mainly from scarabs. But I think the basic profits from the Simulacrum made about, I would say about one of the cards, right? So this made me 1 apothecary card. Gems. This also was quite a bit of money. Not all that much. I'd say maybe about, I don't know, 20-ish divines worth in gems. Double corruption. So I've been corrupting mainly just like I'm making stuff for the build that I want to use. So I'm corrupting my Doriani's prototype. I still actually haven't gotten a good one. Look at my tab here. I did get a lot of white sockets. I'm corrupting gems. Obviously the gems that I want to be using. So the smites. Did corrupt my own wrath. The anomalous wrath. Corrupted a lot of those. Did make quite a bit of money making that, as well as the smites. I had terrible luck on these smites. Like usually it's a 1 in 4 to hit a vol in the double corruption. What do you call it? The Doriani's Institute. It's a 1 in 4 to hit a vol, and I think out of the like what 30 I corrupted, I only got 2 vol smites, so that's pretty sad. I did get a 21-23 though, and I got 2 21 zeros, so that's interesting. But I guess, yeah, RNG wasn't all that great. Then I switched over to Lightning Strike, started making these Lightning Strike ones. I did hit a 2120 Vol Lightning Strike, but I'm going to be using this. So I did make a bit of money on these gems. I think overall the total profit of me selling off these chests and gems did actually end up paying for another one of the cards. Now, lucky drops, well, I don't know if you want to call these lucky because you do get them in Simulacrum quite a bit. These are going to be the voices, the megalomaniacs, cluster jewels, and all that kind of stuff. This was probably about like another card or so. And crafting, I'm only really crafting, how would you say, cluster jewels. This time I didn't do any like gloves or any of that kind of stuff. And this made me about, I don't know, maybe about 15 divines. I think I actually am kind of off on my calculations, so Simulacrum was probably around 2 from the scarabs. So I did sell these quite a few times. And lucky drops, probably this is also going to be 2. I dropped 2 Aegis Auroras. Those were like 6 divines each. Quite a few split personalities that sold for about like 5 divines. Some of them were 2, some are 5, some are 6. And I did drop quite a few of those, I think about 20 or so. So I think these lucky drops did pay off for most of them. So overall, you can kind of see the breakdown is if you're only really doing Simulacrum, then you're not really going to be making that much. You can probably make a lot more money out of the gems, because most of the time the gems that I was leveling was these smites and all these kind of things to actually like get gems for my build. So you could probably make more if you're doing like, I don't know what you would do. Maybe like enlightens and all that kind of stuff, right? You could probably be making a lot more from the gems, but I like to use this time to make the items for my build so I don't have to go out and buy them. Alright, and I guess I called these lucky drops, but I should probably be calling these Simulacrum drops, right? Because if you do enough Simulacrums, like if you're farming this Simulacrum, you're going to be getting these without a doubt, right? So it's not really lucky, but anyways. So, and overall, Simulacrum did drop most of my cards, and the double corruptions did end up paying for the last 1.5, and also the gems and crafting. So it's kind of the loot breakdown. And yeah, so a lot of people ask how I actually make the currency for this. I don't really think this is the fastest or the best way, but I do enjoy Simulacrum, so that's what I do. And if you're interested, I do have a video guide on day 1 all the way up to, I guess, today when you buy your Mageblood, on what I'm doing exactly. And I guess TLDR is just heisting into Simulacrum, but yeah. And I think if you just only do Simulacrum, it's not really going to be as, you know, really make as much money as I did. You have to branch out into other things like obviously the gem leveling. That's kind of something you should always be doing, right? And then what I like to do is the Vault Temple, well, not Vault Temple, the Alva Temple or whatever, right? I like to do the double corruptions. It's pretty fun, I think. And I do gems and body armors mainly, and you can make quite a lot of money from those if you hit the good corruptions. I haven't really hit that many good ones this league, but so far I'll probably still be doing more. But yeah, so doing that, and then on top of that, I like to do crafting. So this league I didn't really do that much of it. What I like to mainly do is, so if you drop like a good cluster, I like to craft it before I actually sell it. Mainly because it's very cheap to craft these with just alterations and that kind of stuff, right? So, and if you know other profit crafts, it's actually pretty nice to do that in the meantime, so you can have items in your stash waiting to sell as you're farming the Simulacrum. But I do think doing those 3 things, so you have the main thing you farm, in my case it's Simulacrum, and then on the side you do either like double corruptions and crafting, and then the 3 combined end up making you quite a lot of money, and you're never really in a situation where you don't have money. So right now I don't have any money, but I do have a lot of things waiting to sell. I have a full like essence tub I can sell and all that kind of stuff. So definitely think about branching out into other money making methods instead of just doing mapping or just doing farming and that kind of stuff. But anyways, I think we'll end the video here. Don't want to make it too long. And yeah, good luck farming whatever it is you're farming, and I'll see you next time.